morning, Kalimera, and welcome to Aegina. I've hired a moped for today and we're out doing some sightseeing. So this is the church of Agiou Nektariou, or Saint Nektarios. It's very large and ornate, it's very pretty. And there's also a monastery or convent, I think, up this hill. So we're going to walk around and explore this area. Just had a quick look in the monastery. I didn't go right in because I've only got shorts and a vest on, and you're not supposed to go in there without trousers if you're a man. So just poked my head in, had a look around, but it looked very pretty. And now we're going to go back down the hill and have a look in the church. Just had a nice walk around the inside of the church. It's very impressive. I'm guessing it's quite modern. It looks relatively new, but obviously a typical church inside. Unfortunately, there's a load of scaffolding inside at the moment. I'm guessing they're doing some repairs on the roof or something, which is a little unfortunate, but it's definitely worth coming and having a look around. If you come to Aegina, I definitely recommend it. It's on the way to the Temple of Aphaia anyway. It's directly east of the main port town in Aegina, so not difficult to get to. It's about a 10-minute ride, and absolutely worth coming and having a look. Hello, welcome again. This is stop number 2, the Temple of Aphaia. I've just arrived. I'm stood outside the gate at the minute. You have to pay to get in, so we'll find out how much that's going to cost in a minute. It looks quite an impressive site. I was expecting a bit of a walk to get here, but there's a car park and a road that leads right up to it, which is handy. So let's go and have a look at the Temple of Aphaia. So I've just had a good look around the temple. It's very impressive, as you can see. I apologise if this sounds a bit bad. I've had to take the microphone off. They get a little bit upset if you've got a microphone on your camera. Yeah, this is very impressive. Cost €6 to get in, which isn't too bad. Had a good walk around. It's obviously not a particularly large site. It's really just the temple itself. But well worth a look if you're on Aegina. Just arrived at the beach resort of Agia Marina on the eastern side of Aegina. It's a lovely little beach resort with a nice calm sea, very shallow here. But yeah, it looks very nice. It's about 5 minutes drive from the Temple of Aphaia, so I've just come from there. A nice cool dip in the sea, and then we're going to have some lunch here. Good afternoon, Kalispera. So after a nice lunch stop in Agia Marina, I've ridden north to Vagia. It's quite a small low-key resort, I think. A little harbour behind me, and a beach around the other side that we'll go and have a look at in a minute. Basically just doing a tour around the island now, seeing as many places as I can. So from here I'm going to head along the northern coast back towards Aegina Town, and just stop along the way and see what we see.
Good afternoon, Kalispero again. Next update on my little tour around Aegina. Just stopped off at another beach resort called Vathy, although I think this part of it is actually called Souvala or something like that. So yeah, maybe Vathy is the bit of it that's slightly further inland, but there is a little beach here. Not a very big beach, as you might be able to see behind me, and as you can also see, it's a ferry port. So we're now at the westernmost point of Aegina, which is on the northwestern corner of the island, and you can see behind me somewhere there's a lighthouse. There's also a little church, as there is everywhere in Greece, of course. But we just stopped here on the way back to the capital of Aegina, where the port is, and just going to have a little look around and then carry on heading south. Good afternoon again, Kalispero. So I was on the way to Perdika and saw a sign for the ancient olive grove, which I had seen on Google Maps, and I wasn't quite sure how to get there. And to be honest, having got this far, I'm still not quite sure how to get here. It was quite a maze of very steep, narrow little streets with not very regular signposts for the ancient olive groves, but according to Google Maps we're fairly close now, and someone else has abandoned a moped here, so I'm assuming this is a good place to stop and proceed on foot, and it should only be about 200 metres down that path behind me. So let's take a little walk and hopefully we can see the ancient olive grove. So I'm pretty sure this is the ancient olive grove, actually all around me here. According to Google Maps it's further ahead, but I'm a little sceptical from looking at the satellite view that there's actually much in the way of olive trees exactly where the map marker is, but these trees all around I'm pretty sure are olive trees, and they look pretty old, so I'm going to say this is an ancient olive grove. I will keep walking this way towards the marker just to make sure I'm not missing anything even better. I was wrong. Behind me I'm pretty sure is the actual ancient olive grove. And not that it looks that different, but I've just passed a small group of people coming from this direction, and there were definitely trees behind me, so I think we may have found the actual spot. So let's go and have a closer look at the actual ancient olive grove, not the one that I made up back there. This is definitely the spot. That is one of the bigger ancient olive trees behind me, and another one there. And the reason I know this is the right spot is because I saw a rubbish bin back there, and who puts a rubbish bin in the middle of nowhere unless it's a tourist spot? So I think we can conclusively say that this is the ancient olive grove. There is also a church here as well, a little old stone one. Yeah, there you go, you can just about see behind me there. So might as well have a wander over to that while we're here. I said this was a church. Apparently it's called the Chapel of the Holy Trinity. So it's not technically a church, it's a chapel. It's very small, but if you come to see the ancient olive grove, it's right here. So might as well come and have a look while you're here. Hello again, this is the final stop of the day because I'm nearly out of time on the moped, and we're in the southwest corner of Aegina at the resort of Perdika, which doesn't look as impressive as it probably would have done earlier. The sun has gone behind some clouds, so It's a little bit overcast now, but it's been a good day of sightseeing. We've covered quite a lot of ground, obviously not everything you can see on Aegina, but a lot of the highlights hopefully are here. One of the reasons for coming to Perdika is to take a boat trip across to the island behind me, which I believe is called Aegina, if Google Maps is not telling me wrong. I don't believe it's an inhabited island, but there is a beach the other side that you can obviously relax on. Don't know what it's like because I haven't been, but if you get a chance to come here and you fancy a little boat trip across to a small uninhabited island, then maybe that's something to check out. Good morning, Kalimera. This is day 2 of my time on Aegina, and I don't have a moped today, so I'm just going to have a little walk around the main town. And this is the hotel I've been staying at behind me, the Hotel Aegina. It's quite nice, comfortable rooms and good price. About 10 minutes of walk away from the port. We're now going to have a wander down to the port and along the harbour front, see what that's like. This is a little beach called Aphaia, which is quite convenient for the town, just a 5-10 minute walk from the ferry port. And behind me, even further on the hill there, I don't know if you can see, is the Temple of Apollo, which I was hoping to go and see today, but according to Google it is not open this morning. It will be open tomorrow, so hopefully I'll get down there and have a look at that before I leave tomorrow lunchtime. So behind me you can see the main part of the actual Temple of Apollo here, with one of the Doric columns still standing. And I know that it's a Doric column because it says so on the board behind me, not because I know much about Greek history. But it's a pretty cool site. It's fairly large, quite nice to walk around. It's not very busy. I'm guessing at some times of the year it's probably a lot busier than this, but it's now the very end of August and there's only a few other people around. I'm now going to head to the museum, which was right near the entrance, but decided I would do the outside bit first and then the museum afterwards. It is a pretty impressive site, not quite as big inside as I thought it was when I walked around the outside yesterday, but you can spend a good half an hour, 45 minutes walking around. Let's go and take a look at the museum now and see what interesting artefacts they've got in there. That is the museum done. It's relatively small, you don't have to pay extra to go in. It's part of the €4 ticket to come and look around the outside as well. So it's quite good value. There's about half a dozen rooms, mostly filled with pottery, vases, things like that. And that's pretty much it from me from Aegina. Hope you've enjoyed the video, and I look forward to seeing you again in the next one from Agistri. See you later.